at LiveRamp, we actually kind of approach the rise of AI by actually kind of integrating AI at the core of all of different kind of workflows. And so when you think about data, audience data generally speaking, we think about the different use cases. So the data planning stage, the segmentation, and the activation measurement. And so AI kind of plays a core role in terms of speeding up the time to value that our customers actually kind of experiences by actually bringing a lot of automation to those workflows and respecting obviously kind of the privacy as part of the promise we deliver on.
Wanted to get your sense of the state of identity resolution, particularly at the state, within the state of cookies. Are they dying? Are they nearly dead? What's your sense there?
I mean, so for the state of a cookie, I think there was some kind of significant announcement late last year with kind of Google deciding to not depreciate kind of a cookie in 2024 after many announcements that we would actually kind of go for it. And so at LiveRamp, we actually kind of decided to kind of make a significant investment in embedding a cookie-less kind of identity infrastructure so that we actually kind of decrease the reliance for all brands and all publishers to actually kind of have a non-cookie reliant identity framework, just to kind of go and maximize kind of a reach that they can actually get across kind of all the devices and all the interactions that the brands are actually having with the consumers.
Are brands being as creative as they should be with data collaboration? What are you seeing there?
Yeah. So in terms of data collaboration and creativity, yes, like we see now kind of a lot of adoption, and as we kind of were talking about earlier, I think kind of AI is actually kind of play a role in democratizing the data collaboration kind of outputs by actually kind of making it easier for decision makers to actually kind of go and get insights to make decisions on. So as an example, like we've seen data collaboration mainly used for measurement purposes over the last kind of 2-3 years or so, and that was the main use case for most of the people and kind of how it was framed in everybody's minds. Now we see kind of data collaboration kind of moving to actually support long-term collaboration between a brand and the publisher or two brands together and kind of identify the partnership opportunity that they do have and actually kind of drive a lot more like customer experience personalization, the right offering, the right promotion for the audiences. So it goes like way beyond the initial kind of advertising only, and now we are kind of actually starting to touch the 5 P's of marketing, right? Like now we look at the placement, the price, the product packaging. All of that is actually kind of informed now through data collaboration. So it's a really exciting future ahead of us.
Our world has really suddenly become AI driven, particularly advertising world. What does responsible data look like within this new framework?
Yeah. So, I mean, at LiveRamp, this new framework, we actually kind of are making privacy kind of a core component of it. And so when you think about privacy and how this needs to be kind of thought about, we look at all the different stages. So first we look at the data input or the data layer and how the data is actually kind of being kind of collected by the brand, then how it's actually then used for personalization and so on. And so we see now kind of brand making privacy a competitive advantage because once the data is actually kind of collected in a trustful manner, and it will then kind of inform the relationship with the consumer and make it so much more of a stronger link between the brand and the consumer. So we see that as a core advantage.
Well, personalization and privacy are often pitted against each other. How do you see that? How do you see the balance or the harmonization between the two?
And it's all about kind of that trustful relationship between the consumer and the brand. So like kind of what we're talking about, like the data collection needs to be kind of in the guardrails and kind of clear, transparent for the consumer around like how the data is collected, how it is actually going to be used through the different channels. And so to that point around like privacy being the competitive advantage, I think now it's actually just reframing the entire relationship between kind of a consumer and kind of making it a requirement for the brand to actually kind of have a strong position around how they do handle privacy. And also when it comes to data collaboration, they go and need to actually kind of understand how other partners are actually kind of going collecting data, what are they going to be leveraging for those different partners, and have kind of a clear guidelines between both before actually kind of activating and informing the customer experience.